Well, does this not feel familiar? Man, I love making these kinds of videos because it reminds me of 2019-2020. It reminds me of that early pre-COVID-ish era video commentary that we would make chronicling the stories and the games in the NCAA. Because back in that time frame, the Montreal Canadiens had themselves a super talented prospect. You might have heard of him. His name was Cole Caulfield. He was dominating the Wisconsin Badgers, and every weekend we'd make videos about his production. Well, we're kind of doing that again here. But not with Cole Caulfield. No, not with Lane Hudson either. Because today, we are kicking things off with what's going on in the University of Michigan NCAA season. Because my golly gee, have we seen just two amazing games out of Montreal Canadiens top prospect, Michael Hage. What? Sorry, I have the wrong tab open. Sorry, we don't need to talk about Jack Eichel here. We are talking today about a guy who could potentially be his clone. Because my goodness, folks, when it comes to that Canadiens prospect Michael Hage, this guy is looking more and more like the real deal James Mother freaking Neal. No, just kidding. We're gonna stop with the player comparisons and just talk about Michael Hage for a sec, because man oh man has this guy gotten off to a hot start in the NCAA. 19 years old, 6'1", 190, right-handed center, Montreal's second first-round pick in the 2024 NHL Entry Draft, 21st overall draftee in the Sphere, a player who was taken after Ivan Demidov and who became an immediate Habs fan favorite. His story with his family upon getting drafted as Canadiens fans, plus the fact that he was really good in the NCAA to kick things off in his freshman year. 34 points in 33 games played. Not bad. Late first-round pick being a point-per-game guy is a pretty good player, I would say. But things have gotten off to an even more electric start in this Wolverines weekend to open up 25-26. Because, ladies and gentlemen, in Michigan's first game against Mercyhurst University, you had yourselves Michael Hage scoring 2 goals and 3 assists for 5 points. It was an 11-1 victory for the Michigan Wolverines, and Hage led the crew with 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. You had some other guys going out there with multi-point games as well. William Horkoff and Malcolm Spence had 3 points. Henry Muse had 3 points as a defenseman. Cole McKinney, TJ Hughes, Asher Barnett, Dakota Raymullen all had 2 points. Ben Robertson did as well. So a lot of folks went out there and contributed, but none more than Michael Hage. And the goals that he scored were absolutely beautiful. The first goal that Hage received was the 5-1 Michigan Wolverines goal in the third period. He's coming in on the cross crease, he receives the puck on the right side, and then, makes no mistake, buries it by the Mercyhurst goaltender. The second goal that Michael Hage scored in Game 1 against Mercyhurst was a beautiful one-timer on the power play, a slap shot from the left face-off circle that beats the goalie. 9-1 goal there in the third period, so obviously Michigan's just pouring it on. Michael Hage going out there and boosting his point totals on the season. But it is a really solid performance like that, plus the 3 assists that propelled him all the way to number 1 in the NCAA in points. And he was able to hold on to that and keep up with that label into the next game. Because in game number 2 of the season, Michigan versus Mercyhurst once more, they won 7-0, and Michael Hage this time scored himself 2 points. He had 2 assists. Now, no goals in this one for Hage, but he still was able to continue his reign at the top of the NCAA's overall point list. If you head over right now, he is number 1 in the country in points over Charlie Serrato, William Horkoff, Malcolm Spence, Adam Fleming, Christian Fitzgerald, and others. A lot of these guys happen to be his own teammates for the Michigan Wolverines. But still, Michael Hage is at 3.5 points per game. If you do the math, you multiply that out. Let's do 3.5 multiplied by about 30. He's on pace for about 105 points in the NCAA this season, which I don't think anybody's realistically expecting that to happen, but still, there is a lot to be excited for. And the best part is, I think the Jack Eichel comparison that we always keep on making with Michael Hage, how these guys pitter-patter down the ice, how they stride and how they move with the puck, the ranginess, the lankiness, just the control that they have, I don't think it's unreasonable. Like, sure, Jack Eichel was a second overall pick caliber player. He was drafted out of the NCAA and he totally smoked the show. I'm not going to go out there and assume that Michael Hage is going to have the same upper ceiling that Eichel did. I mean, Eichel's first year in the NCAA saw him winning the Hobey Baker and getting 71 points in 40 games. Michael Hage was just barely over a point per game. The year after, Eichel made the NHL and had 50 points with the Sabres. Hage right now has 7 points in 2 Michigan games. So it's difficult to compare and contrast these guys in a one-to-one direct comparison, but still, thinking about the style, thinking about what they look like, the silhouettes of the players when they're skating out there, there are a lot of similarities here. And as somebody who watched a lot of Jack Eichel footage with the Boston University Terriers back when he was draft eligible, there's a lot to like out of Michael Hage that reminds me of Jack Eichel. Maybe not with the level of points that he's able to get, although if Michael Hage does somehow get 100 points this season in the NCAA, I think that will certainly give Jack Eichel a run for his money when you compare it to a 50-point NHL season. But still, when you think about Montreal and their quest for a second-line center, that Michael Hage is looking like the real deal James Neal. If he can continue progressing with that shot of his, the one-timers from the OV spot, whilst providing some very solid playmaking, getting 3 assists a night, and doing some very good things to will results for the Wolverines, then I think there are going to be so many more videos we're going to have to make throughout the course of the season that are like this. Hey, Michael Hage had 7 points in his opening 2 games on the weekend, and heading into the upcoming weeks, if he's able to continue being the #1 NCAA point producer as a sophomore, then it really indicates some positive things. You know, the Wolverines have had a lot of really good productive players come into their system the past few years. Adam Fantilli was a freshman, and then he won the Hobey Baker. He produced more than everybody, pretty much. Owen Power was pretty good. Luke Hughes was pretty good. Matty Beniers. If Michael Hage can continue that lineage and prosperity in the NHL with these Wolverines guys, then that would be the ultimate treat for the Montreal Canadiens, would it not be? Look at us here, talking about NCAA products doing very well. Weekend by weekend. I feel like this is Lane Hudson and Cole Caulfield all over again, folks. But with that in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this amazing update for the Montreal Canadiens and their prospect pool. Michael Hage, everybody, has started out his NCAA campaign swinging. And I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button at any point. If you did not, then hey, the dislike button's down there for you as well. Comments help out with the algorithm, so I really appreciate if you could get involved in the discussion there. I hope you enjoyed this Vrishashros 99. And bye.